Welcome. At the first video of a series, it will be a long series about how to stay mentally healthy in a crazy world. And this video is the introduction, and the goal of the whole series is simply exactly the same as the title, how to stay mentally healthy in a crazy world. In the introduction, we are going to talk about a couple of things. First question is, who is crazy? Is the world crazy or are we crazy? What would be the base solution to deal with the situation? What's the good news about it? Who am I? A short introduction of myself. How does this channel work? And a conclusion. But let's start with the question, who is crazy? And then, because if you look at the world, you can have a very thorough analysis of it, and you can talk about it for hours and hours and hours. But that's not really important to understand everything of it. But the main thing is that the world is dehumanized. And that means that we are dealing with systems, with algorithms, with screens, with machines, with procedures, with rules, instead of dealing with other people. And that's nothing that it's good or bad, but it's just the way it is. And it also has some advantages because the world is a lot more comfortable and it's a lot more efficient, but it's dehumanized. And since we are human beings, we are not designed to deal with a world that's dehumanized. So we are not designed to deal with machines and to deal with procedures and rules and stuff like that, because in the evolution 100,000 years ago it was not there, and now the dehumanization of the world is getting stronger and stronger, and that means that it's more difficult for human beings to be mentally healthy, to cope with that. So if you think, when you feel anxiety or you feel burned out or if you feel angry, frustrated or whatever, if you think it's because you are maybe too intelligent or maybe too fat or maybe too lazy, or maybe it's because you're black, maybe because you're gay, it could be anything, but it's not that. It's difficult because you're a human being. And that's all there is. So you're not the only one, because every human being has difficulties coping with a world that is, for a human being, more or less crazy. So the good news about that is that you're not a problem. And at the same time, the bad news is that the world won't change. So you're not to blame, but you have to deal with it. The world won't change soon. Maybe we can change it if we want to, but it will take time. And you can certainly not do it alone. And you can certainly not have influence on it when you're not mentally healthy. So we have to deal with the world like it is. And the first step in that is that we stay mentally healthy so we can do something with it and something about it. And the main question, of course, is how to stay mentally healthy. And there we have our base solution. Because if you want to stay mentally healthy, the most important thing are connections. And connections are not the LinkedIn connections and not the friends on Facebook, but they are on a deeper layer. And you can compare the connections with the thing we use in the Netherlands. I live in the Netherlands, and if we build a house, and we don't use haypoles to have a fundament of the house, then the house will sink into the bottom. Just the way it is. It's a strange area. We live below sea bottom. There it happens. And the connections that we are talking about are like haypoles. You need them to be stable, to have the right, to take the right decisions, to stay mentally healthy. And those haypoles, we have 4 of them, 4 connections. We have the connection with the universe, the first one. You can also call that a spiritual connection. And that's that you really experience that you're part of the big universe, of a big whole. And that means that you are more stable and you have other options than if you don't have that experience and that feeling. The second one is the connection with nature. The connection with nature is something that many people have lost, but it's still there, and you still have the connection, and you need it to energize and to be stable, and also to have that peace of mind that keeps you mentally healthy. The third haypole in this, the third connection, is with other people. If you feel cut off with other people, then you feel lonely, then it's a lot easier to get in a situation where mental health is a problem. And you don't want that, so the connection with people is also very important. And last but not least, the fourth connection, the fourth haypole, is the connection with yourself. The more you feel connected with yourself, the better you can have your choices and act in a way that's consistent with being mentally healthy. So it's important to realize we have four connections, four haypoles, and do we need them all? Yes and no. In a normal situation, maybe you can do with 2 or 3 of the haypoles, and you will be able to stay mentally healthy. But when the going gets tough, if it's really very difficult, if you have really difficult situations where you are, then in fact you need the 4 haypoles. And the stronger and the deeper they are, it's like haypoles in the Netherlands, sometimes they are 10 meters, but sometimes you need 20 meters deep. And if they are deep and very good grounded, then you have a stable position to stay mentally healthy, even in this crazy world. And what's the good news about these connections? The most important thing, they are already there. So lots of people think that if we talk about connections, that that's something that we have to achieve, to build, to try to connect ourselves to something else. And that's not necessary because those connections are already there. You are part of the universe, you are part of nature, you are part of humankind, and you have only one body, so you're in yourself. It's impossible to be outside of it. So all the effort of trying to get a connection with something that you're already connected with, it's a waste of energy and a waste of efforts. So you don't have to do that. The only thing you have to do is to experience the connection, to be aware of it. So you have to be conscious that the connection is there. And if you are conscious that the connection is there, then you can not only experience it, but also use it to stay mentally healthy. So that's the most important thing. Don't search for the connection, but be aware of the connection and use it. And we are going to talk about that a lot in this series. Who am I? That's because why I am telling this. And I'm Jean-Paul Boerekamps. I'm from the Netherlands, and I've studied physics, and that's very close to philosophy. And I have the habit of thinking a lot, and I have the habit of practicing a lot. I call myself a philosopher in practice, and that's the combination of both things. About thinking, about using the wisdom that's already in our society, to build on that wisdom and to put it in practice, to try it myself and to see what happens if other people are trying it. For the rest, I'm just a normal human being. You can Google me if you want to. I'm just like you. So I struggle sometimes, and I realize when I have my 4 haypoles, then that I'm more stable. Sometimes I lose it a bit, sometimes I'm back in that. So it's also the experience, and I like traveling, I like going around the world. I'm enjoying life very much, and I'm loving it when I see other people enjoying life as well. So that's why mental health is such an important item for me. How does the channel work? It will be a long series, I will tell you. I don't know how many videos we will have, but all the videos will be content based. So it's about content. It's not about attractiveness. They won't be fancy. And one thing about that, it's important to realize that watching YouTube videos and also making YouTube videos, it's not really high on the list of things that you have to do when you want to stay mentally healthy. So one video a day watching is enough, and one video a week or something for making is enough as well. So we don't make it any fancy, we just put in the content and have another video. The other thing is that the videos will be subject oriented. We will have 6 base videos that it's easy to watch them, convenient to watch them before you see the other videos. But after that, the order won't be any important. So the 6 base videos will be this introduction. We will have a theory video, and we will have 4 videos about the 4 connections, the 4 haypoles. And after that, there will be subjects, and also the viewers can propose a subject, and we can talk about that. And they are typical things that how to put it in practice. That's the most important thing about that. You can see it as pixels. So every video will be a pixel. There's no order in it, but the more pixels you have, the sharper will be the picture and the view of the picture in general as a whole. So I like to present food for thought, but also food for action. It's not only theory, it's about the practice. The conclusions. Important is that you are not crazy. You are not crazy, you're a human being, and that's why you're challenging, why you're struggling, because the world is challenging for human beings, because it's not the ideal world where we are designed for. So you need a good base, and that good base are the 4 connections, the 4 haypoles, about the 4 haypoles of the connections with the universe, with nature, with other people, and with yourself. And those connections are already there. So you only have to be aware of them, and then you can strengthen them, and then you can use them. How to do that will be addressed in this series and in the next videos. And if you're interested in that and want to see more of it, then you can subscribe to this channel. If you think that other people could use it as well, you can like this video, or you can talk about it with other people, and that's even a lot better. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next videos of this series.